came in, who's my good friend,
right?
Colts, and I actually texted him last night, and here's what I said when I was on the show with Wasted and Graf. They said, yeah, Ed Dodds is flying in for an interview, and I said, so Ed Dodds was a scout in 03. He got his first as just a regular scout in 03. I came in 04, and Ed Dodds would sit. And one thing I've always been good with is picking out talent. I've always been good on that guy's good, that guy's not good, and like not following trends, but just knowing players. And I'd always ask Dodds, what do you think about this? And he was always on par with whatever I thought. And I was in communication with him before they hired.
He was in the building but before Ziegler was, and it was down to either Ziegler or Dodds.
And here's what Dodds said. I said, hey, good luck tomorrow, my guy. And within 30 seconds, he wrote me back. He said, my turn to finish where I started. I love that. I love that.
So then let me ask you this question then. Let's say,
so there may be, I don't know if maybe there's maybe a chain of command where he wants to hire this first and then
let him get the coach.
It's the way
I don't know.
But now I go to that, because now if you look at the narrative, and again, the media, especially the mainstream media, will put out a narrative to get their hits. Right?
Oh yeah.
So the narrative that's being put out there is, if Dodds gets hired,
it's automatic.
Is it?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't understand where that connection. I'm not sure what that.
Because they go back.
But I know, but Dodds got started in 03, and what would that have to do with Harbaugh? I mean, was it
based upon his circle of who he knows and who he's tight with? Dodds is associated with Harbaugh, which is why people like to connect the dots. And even I've said it, is that if Dodds gets hired,
is Harbaugh a lock though?
Look for Harbaugh to be the first choice, and I think Harbaugh is going to be the first choice anyway. And I unfortunately think, and since we're going to get there, if Dodds gets hired, Harbaugh is going to be Mark Davis's choice. He's going to swing for the fences. It's going to be between, in my opinion, again, this is only my opinion, it's going to be between the Raiders and the Chargers, with an outside chance that it could be the Redskins, because they got a lot of money to spend, and he's only a half an hour away from his brother. That's the other thing, okay?
So Captain Jack, when you say stuff like that, that's what I mean about how, and I don't mean to be crass, but, you're kind of dicking AP around. So
I get it.
AP from going, you know what? I've been saying this entire time I want to be here.
Yeah.
And these guys right now are about to offer me more money than anyone. I'm about to be the highest paid whatever.
But
I'm just going with them.
If AP wants it, and I know that it's a bitter pill to swallow. Again, I've never played a lick of professional football like that guy. I am not saying that I am an expert like that guy. I'm going to make sure that the fingers are pointing.
We know. You don't have to preface that. We know that, Jack.
I get it, but I do have a very scholarly, knowledgeable, learned opinion as to what I've seen with my historical things that I know. Okay, which is why if Dodds gets hired, I believe that the first swing will go towards Mr. Harbaugh. It's going to be up between the Raiders, the Chargers, and maybe the Redskins, and to duke it out as to where he's going to go. Now, it's possible that Dodds comes in anyway, and Harbaugh says, well, I want to go to L.A., or I want to go to Washington, and they keep Dodds there. Because if you also remember when it was Dodds and Ziegler, and when Kelly came in, Kelly impressed the Raiders so much, they made a job for him.
Yeah.
They made a job for him.
Really? Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, because Dodds comes in and let's say he gets the job, that doesn't mean that Kelly leaves. It might be that Kelly still keeps that assistant GM role that he already had, unless somebody wants to hire him based upon what he's done in another GM role.
So what about this though?
Hold on. I do want to. Sorry, Chris. I do.
No, you're good.
With my relationship with Dodds, and the communication we've had in the last 3 years, I don't have that sense of there's a partnership or a dual thing with Harbaugh. I obviously I know he has a relationship with them, which I didn't really know, but also to my understanding and my mentor, my first football coach, a guy I had a lot of businesses with here in Saginaw. Well, he's in Saginaw, Michigan. He actually is in communication with Harbaugh's team. He's friends with them, and Harbaugh, he wants quite a bit. He doesn't just want to be the head coach.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That's exactly what I was going to say.
There's a lot of other things that he's like.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
And so
he wants the Belichick deal. All right.
So
he wants the Belichick, Gruden, and whoever else you can throw in deal, because he wants it all and a biscuit, and dessert. And the chick in the back that's doing this. That's what he wants.
Yes.
And this is, so Stu, like, this is where I'm at, right? Where you're a player. So if you were Max Crosby and being a safety, you're a captain, you sit there and you go, I'm drawing a line in the sand here, and I'm telling you I want AP.
Yep.
From a player's perspective, how much does that really, like, an owner
that's
can
an
just go,
original question.
I don't really care, LeBron. I don't care what you think. I'm getting so and so. So
yeah, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care what LeBron said either. So, but no, I'm joking. No, no, Mark. No, trust me, Mark. He's going to listen. I'd say probably more than even some of the coaches on staff. He's going to listen to those players, man.
Okay.
Right.
He's going to listen. He loves those guys. He trusts those guys. Those guys trust him. He's going to take into account what those players say. And he's also, again, I mean, there's a lot of yellow jackets around Mark.
Yeah.
And he's talking to all those guys.
And a lot of them are saying the same thing. I saw what Howie's saying. I saw what Woodson's saying. And it's just, and kind of what I was getting ready to say is, everyone's talking about this Dodds, getting the position. But from my understanding, I think Harbaugh might want to be that shot caller himself. He may not want to have that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, they keep saying there's this, if Dodds, he's bringing Harbaugh. But I think Harbaugh
wants to be like Andy Reid. Yeah.
He doesn't want Dodds.
Yeah. Like, I want to be in control of the draft. I want to get my scouting team together.
Yes.
No, you know what? I'll tell you, Chris, it's good to have Stu's perspective because he has a relationship with Dodds and he sees it from that perspective. And I'm a lot more calm now that it sounds to me like what you're telling us, Stu, is Dodds is trying to get the job for Dodds. Not trying to get the job for anyone else.
Yeah.
No,
he's in competition. His only competition really.
He's in competition, and he would be a fantastic general manager.